Okay. Hello. Thank you for coming. So I'm Dave Kempsall, club captain, and just wanted to first of all say thank you very much for coming, and it's brilliant to see so many people back at the club. It's been quite a while, and yeah, we've kind of been looking forward to this day. It's an opportunity to get everyone down and start looking forward to getting back to sort of normal, getting back to rowing, and the club being open to all of its members, and that's what today's all about. And we're celebrating some of our members who've helped us to be where we are today. We've got a great fleet of boats, 8 boats to christen today. It's a bit more than we'd normally have, but yeah, it just shows as well that we're trying to keep putting new boats in the boathouse, providing for juniors, masters, seniors, yeah, across all levels of the club. These boats will be used, and I think when you hear about the people that have helped today, you'll see how many different parts of the club, and yeah, they're all supported by our members, our volunteers, and who've done all the work that's led us to get here. So this is our new our top junior boys quad, which we'll be racing this week coming weekend at the Henley qualifiers, hopefully at Henley Regatta, and David's going to let you know who it's named after.
It's my pleasure to introduce the naming of the David Swain. He spent most of his life on this river, firstly as a rower and a coach at Bedford School. Then in the early 2000s he joined Star Club as a junior coach. This gave him so much pleasure in life. But after several years he decided that his time was up and he was going to retire. Then Pamela announced, "I'm taking up rowing." So he was back at the riverbank, coaching his wife. That went really well.
My David would be absolutely delighted to have a boat named after him. So it would give me great pleasure to actually unveil this. I name this boat David Swain.
It's my privilege to introduce one of the club's legends. He came here in the 1970s for professional reasons, having had a distinguished rowing career with Bolton Rowing Club. As an oarsman, he rowed as a senior, a veteran as we then called it, and in his later years he rowed in the Gentleman's Four on a Wednesday morning. In fact, Mike was one of the prime movers in having this boathouse constructed. Sadly, he died in 2019 and we sorely miss him. But I am delighted to say that another club legend and herself a vice president is here to dedicate this boat to Mike Taylor. Sue.
So I'd be pleased to dedicate this to Mike, and he would be very proud, I know.
Okay, this boat's being named after a particular dedicated athlete. He was very determined, very regular with his training. You could guarantee that he'd be down on Christmas Day and Boxing Day to train. He's sorely missed in other areas of the river as well, down at the school's boathouse. I know he's started lots of young people off on their rowing careers, and he was particularly good at cajoling the youngsters to get the best commitment out of them.
Deirdre was a great member at Star Club, and was, I think if you cut him in half, he'd have Star Club written through the middle of him. He died in 2017 after a massive fight against cancer. But he was honest through and through. So hopefully the people that are going to row in this double scull are going to be honest to themselves as athletes and push on and make Star Club Star Club proud.
Oh, Liz Appleton. She learned to row at Cambridge, coached by the man she would eventually marry. Joined Star on settling in Bedford in 1985, although her husband went down to the other place. It's alright, he's here now. A real record of involvement worthy of the honour of having one of our fleet named for her.
Thank you everybody. When I joined Star Club in 1985, I couldn't have imagined that Star Club would be naming a boat for me, and the club could do me no greater honour than this, I think. It is such a privilege. So I'd like to name this boat... Oops, I'll just wreck it with my handbag while I'm doing that. She's called Lizzie.
I'm very pleased to introduce Vice President and fellow member, fellow founder member, Peter Kennedy, who's going to be christened in this boat. And really to welcome his family and friends who are here on this special occasion. As an experienced oarsman, Peter joined RAF Cardington Rowing Club and raced for them on the Tideway in the head of the river, and Henry Royal Regatta, and many other top level rowing events over the period that he was there for 2 years. Especially notable is the fact that he rowed in the 1958 RAF Cardington 8, which was so fast that it was invited to compete for selection for England in the Empire Games in '58 in Lake Padarn in North Wales. I mention that because I happen to be Welsh and I was there at the time. Then during 1960, the founder members that remained in Bedford, there were quite a few of them, joined together with Peter to found a new civilian rowing club using the disbanded RAF Cardington Rowing Club boathouse and equipment, which was down there. The new club was, of course, Star Club. So really, the management and members now of Star Club now wish to thank Peter for his lifelong support of the club. Okay? So I'm delighted now to invite Peter to come forward and do the honour.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for your kind words. Very honoured to name this boat after me, Peter Kennedy. Thanks very much. Here's the name.
Morning, Chrissy. Chrissy Boggis, what can one say? She's ready, wherever possible, to provide help, advice and support to just anyone. She involves herself in supporting club occasions and functions. Evidence for this you'll see upstairs when you go to the club room. There are few, if any, areas of the club activity which have not benefited from her presence.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm absolutely honoured to have this boat named after me. So I'm going to keep it very short. Chrissy B.
I'm very pleased to introduce Vice President Alan Johnson, who is going to be christening this boat. Alan joined the club at the age of 16 in the late 60s, and at the time I was captain. I remember it well. I'm happy to confess that I taught him to row, and in spite of that, he did pretty well rowing and sculling, didn't you?
Well, I've had success in both, yes.
Alan's involvement and dedication to the club has led to him being elected captain in 1986. He was then captain for 2 years. Most people can only suffer 1 year. I suffered 3. He suffered 2, which is pretty good. And overseeing the traumatic change from moving from that boathouse to this one, and it was traumatic, I can tell you. 2 years. We have many members here today who came to the club and the sport of rowing because of his initiative and Alan's dedication to this activity. Yeah. Alan is one of the most loyal and dedicated members of this club, and his voluntary contribution to its success over many years is now being recognised by Star Club and its members. Without more ado, and in recognition of the countless hours Alan has put in the Star Club, I now invite him to come and christen this boat.
Let's christen the boat Alan Johnson.
This is an important story, I think, for lots of people who are here today. It's also a sad story, and I think it's important people understand where the name comes from and what it means to us all. So this boat is named after Suzanne Edwards. Suzanne was the eldest child of Mike and Rita, and she was tragically killed in a road accident back in 1980 when she was just 20 years old. And that's a very sad story, and a lot of people here will remember those times, and of course that stays with the family. But I think because we remember those people, they continue to live with us. And this is a great occasion. So thank you everybody for the 7 that have gone before and for this one in particular. And we'll enjoy rowing in the boat. And if you'd like to pull the boat between you. And we're going to name this boat Suzanne, in honour of, or Susie Edwards.
Well, we've got one of us here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the end of the boat naming ceremony. You're all soaked to the skin, sorry. But there is a free lunch over there and there's free drinks upstairs, unless you want something a bit stronger or tea and coffee, in which case it's still very reasonably priced. Thank you very much for coming and see you soon.
Thank you.